Hello everyone, welcome to PCube Analytics. I'm Picasso here, and today we are going to cover about installing VishvaAlgo version FREC S36. So S36S stands for Spot, so it is a FREC trade based Spot version for VishvaAlgo. So VishvaAlgo is built mainly for identifying whether to enter into the market based on the trend, whether to go long or short, and it uses a classification model, neural network classification models, and we have already trained on LSTM, CNN, TCN, transformers based models. So the whole package contains these models which are pre-trained, and also you can train all by yourself. I have given hyper optimization system and also manually how to train. Apart from that, once you integrate the model into the real-time trading, you will be able to do generate different type of trades and enter into the market and make profits out of it. So as we are using Frictrade is the advantage for using Frictrade is that it can accept multiple exchanges into it. So as of now I am using Binance, but it also accesses Bybit, Kraken, Qcoin, OKX and other crypto exchanges. All the details have been provided in the readme. So right now what I am going to do is going to install this and also show you a small brief on in the readme how to follow the steps while installing. Okay, so once you purchase, I am also going to provide the link for the this particular one, and once you go into the link and purchase, you will find something like this. So you have to click on view files and always install the latest version. So here there is 3.6, there is a VishvaAlgo 3.1 and 3.6. So always go for the latest and download it. I already have downloaded it, so I'm just going to open that folder right away. Here is the folder. Let me delete off the so you'll find something like zip folder here. So what you need to do is, I'm using Windows 11 here, and please use WinRAR because the file names are very long, and with the regular zip unzip it won't be working. With WinRAR it works. So install WinRAR and use WinRAR and extract the files into your desired folder. Let me get back after this. So after extracting the whole folder, you can open the folder and you'll find these files. So here in this particular place, you have to open your Visual, any of your favorite IDE. I'm using Visual Studio Code. You can directly open like this, or use your command palette. Open terminal. So this one also opens up the Visual Studio Code. So once you open it, just check out Docker compose file if everything is there. Now what we are going to do is, we'll follow whatever the steps are given in the readme. We'll follow step by step. So this will also help you in understand how to read the readme. Okay, yeah. So introduction, VishvaAlgo. Okay, first time user guide, installation for various system devices. Okay, installation. So first let's go to installation. So step by step usage instructions here. Unzip the project folder, we have done that. And for Windows users, you have to install your Docker. I have already done it, just showing you. So sign in and install Docker desktop. Okay, so once after installation, install WSL. So for installing WSL, because I have already done it anyway, I will be showing you. Open up your terminal, command prompt, and type whatever is given here. So basically you need to install Ubuntu 22.04 or 24, which is the latest one as of today, 24.04. I'm just going to skip all this because I already have one. So what you need to do is follow the instructions that are given here, like creating the username, password, and selection of the version. And once you are done with that, type WSL and you'll get redirected into Linux terminal within the Windows. So from here on, whatever you type, the same thing can be followed in the Linux as well. Um, so we'll go back to our steps, and we are done with this. Restart if prompted. So first time users, you have to restart. Otherwise you can also install git bash and use Linux terminal through that. Any one of them is fine. So we have done WSL, so let's go to the next step. So go to the file path. We are already in the file path here, see. So I am in the right file path with this folder name and all. So next step, type this, copy, and then the next step, wait for all those steps to be done. Basically it does docker pull and then docker build and then docker up. So if you open this particular file build.sh, so it initially does pull and then builds based on the platform which you are using, and then docker compose up, it runs Jupyter service. So docker compose has multiple services. Let me, meanwhile when it is installing, I will be explaining you what docker compose has here. So we have fractrade service, fractrade live en means ensemble, I'll explain you in a while. Jupyter and Jupyter GPU. So Jupyter is a Jupyter notebook we are using to run our models, to train and test our models. And then once we are satisfied with that, we use those models inside the fractrade strategy and run them on fractrade. This is the concept. So fractrade, we don't need a GPU to run fractrade. It doesn't matter actually. That's the reason I have not included GPU version for fractrade, but I have included GPU version for Jupyter GPU. Coming back, so fractrade and fractrade live, the difference is that when we are going live, when we are going dry run or live trading, then we have to uncomment this, comment this particular one, and uncomment the live. Why? Because or you can directly just change this one particular letter. It is up to you how you want to. So basically we are triggering the live trade for this, and we are switching off the live trade for this while doing back test. As of now we need to do some back test initially. So whenever you got this whole files, I suggest you guys to install all the steps and then run back test. And then check out, I'll just show you. Open the Jupyter, run all the models, and once you are satisfied with the pre-trained models results, or if you are not satisfied, you can train your own model, which I will be showing you. Once after that, you can come back to fractrade and open the fractrade strategies. Like we have spot neural network model, spot 15, this strategy is there, so you can run based on that. I have given step-by-step approach how to do how to run backtest for each of the strategies, how to shortlist your assets, how to train them, how to shortlist them, and how to go live after shortlisting all the assets. The whole description is given here. It's a very simple, which I will be going through, which we will be going through after the installation is done. Okay. So let this run. I'll just get. Also, if your system has GPU, it will automatically detect and then install GPU related packages. And we can use how to activate GPU. I will just make another video about it. It is little confusing and lengthy if at all you are doing it for the first time. So I'll just show you how to activate your GPU if at all it is there in the Docker. Generally, once we install any notebook directly and we run it on our system or server directly, GPU gets activated. But when we are using Docker, we have to add few extra lines. Then only it will start working within the Docker. And the reason we are using Docker is because to stabilize the approach, like versioning of all the packages and everything has to be same, so that it runs similar on my system and also on yours. And it can be Linux or Mac OS or a server or a Windows. It can be anything. So it has to be same on all the systems. So that's the reason I have developed it on Docker. So I'll just get back after the terminal installs all the packages, and it takes a little long time, so you have to be patient. So once after download is installation is done, you will find something like this. If at all there are any errors that occur, instead of using this step build, you can also manually type three commands. These three commands are enough to start the whole system. So docker compose pull, which I have already shown you in this build.sh. The same thing we are doing with this command, but if at all because of XYZ reason, if it doesn't work, then you can manually type these three commands: docker compose pull. Because here it is already done, it won't take much time. So it is already pulled, so directly it came off like this. And docker compose build, which will build again. It will take a lot of time. I'm not going to do that now. And then finally docker compose up, and whatever service do you want to up, you can mention it here. Here I want to run the service Jupyter. So Jupyter, Jupyter. Now that we are running this, also check also open your service, check which port number it is in. Right now this is at port number 8891. So what you need to do is open your Chrome or any other web browser and go to localhost 8891. So here it is going to ask password. I have given the password in the file here, docker compose docker file.jupyter. I have mentioned the password as password. This is the password. You can change it if at all you want to put any other, and then run. So it's password, and it will open up all the files. So right now you have installed successfully and are able to open up all the files. Now what to do next? Let's go to readme. Go back to readme. So now you are able to install. Very good. And the password, have mentioned it here. By default Jupyter Notebook is password protected with password, and you can open it using 8891. For futures version, everything is same. You have to just check with the port number for long different Just check with the port number for the futures. And uncommon, if at all you are using GPU, I'll make a separate video for how to activate GPU. If at all it is already activated for you and you know how to activate it by yourself, then you can directly uncomment Jupyter GPU service instead of, and comment on the Jupyter service. So now you need to again run Docker. If at all you are using Jupyter GPU, again you need to run Docker compose up Jupyter underscore GPU in the relevant folder. So let me go back, reveal in File Explorer, open in terminal, or you can just copy the location and CD paste. Now you are in the right location. Now you can run docker compose up underscore GPU. If at all you are doing it for the first time, again it will do the build first and then it will up the server for you. So right now I'm not going to do that. It's a lengthy process. Again, it is going to take same amount of time. Everything is same. So GPU or non-GPU, the only difference is it gets activated. GPU gets activated. So I'm not going to do it now. But you can follow the same steps that we have done for Docker Compose up Jupyter. And for the first time, it will take some time. Okay. So let's get back to the README. So yeah, and if at all you have a limited RAM and you are using a VPS or something and you want to limit your RAM instead of using instead of your Docker service using the whole system RAM, you can limit it by mentioning it here. 8G means 8 GB. And CPU cores, how many cores do you want the Docker to use? So 0.5 or 1, whatever you are comfortable with, you can mention it here. You can experiment. So how you can experiment? After mentioning 0.5, you can go back Docker stacks. So stats, what it does, it shows you how much RAM is being used by each of the services. So how much CPU is being used by each of the services. So here you can monitor it. Okay. Now after that uncommented Jupyter yeah, which I have told you, GPU if at all you are using. And then if at all you are going live for Freck Trade. So basically the whole structure of the project is in the such a way that initially we use notebooks 1.1 and 1.2, 1.3, 4 and 1.5 for training different models. So here neural networks transformer model is being trained in this particular notebook file. So when we open our notebook, Jupyter notebook, we go to notebooks and we can open up any of the notebooks here. And if at all you have plans of training your own, you can just run each of the commands. I have given explanation of each of the commands here. You can read it and you can understand it by yourself. Otherwise the video is going to take a lot of time. So basically feature engineering we are adding our own features. In the future, if you want to add your own features, you can remove this, add your own indicators and then run the next steps. So basically this is the target. So because we are doing classification model and it's a neural network classification model, what we are going to create a target here, and based on the target the model gets trained. Okay, so here it shows how many zeros, how many ones and how many twos. So twos are nothing but for short, ones are for long and zeros are neutral. Basically the whole data is imbalanced data, means a lot of zeros are there, very few ones and twos are there. So what you can do is You can use different methods like weights, or you can increase the dense layers. You can use um, learning rate, different learning rate you can improve, or you can create you can use different values here. Instead of 192, you can use 400 or something, 500. You can test it out if at all you are interested in learning how this whole thing works. So creating units, creating your own dense layers or extra dense layer, just try it out. And instead of 3 dense layers here, which we are using, you can create 4 or 2, and just check out how the output comes out, in what way. Okay, so after that we do confusion matrix, and then we understand what is the recall, what is the precision and all, like how good is the model is, and then based on that we do some back testing and we get some results. And if you are satisfied with that result, you can save the model. This is the cell for saving the model. This is for hyper optimization. If at all you want to do this manually, hyper optimization, basically what it does is it will automatically search for the best params and it will create best output possible. But one of the what I personally suggest is that because data is imbalanced, and if you are using class weights or if we are not using class weights, here also you can comment out class weights. We can like without class weights also we can train the whole model. So this is all experimentation. If at all you have knowledge about what I'm talking, you can just experiment. Otherwise, even if you don't have, what you can do is just experiment with commenting order, commenting any of them. So with class weights, without class weights. Why we are using class weights? Because it is a imbalanced data. To balance it out, we are increasing the ones and twos weight more and decreasing the zeros weight less. So to balance out, that is why we are using class weights. If at all you are not, you want to see without using the class weight how the data will perform, how the model will get trained, you can also experiment on that. Basically, I personally suggest without class weights also, it does give good results. It is up to you. Okay, so this is one thing. And then experimenting with hyper optimization or experimenting with manual transformer. So every training, every notebook has a hyper optimization and also manual. So you can open any of them. The whole concept will be the same. The algorithm will be little different from each of them, because TCN is different from transformers, is different from LSTM. If at all you are interested in learning, understanding what TCN, transformers, LSTM does, you can go back to the README file. You can go back to the README. Here at the bottom, I have explained what each of them does. The benefits of LSTM, the benefits of CNN, and the limitations of it, transformers benefit, limitations, and how overfitting, how we can avoid overfitting and all. So TCNs, so 1D 2D of the CNN. So just read all of this if at all you are interested in understanding it further. Okay, going back. So notebooks. So what you are going to do after installation is that first you will go to the notebooks. First you are going to the notebooks, and then you will test, you will train your own model. Otherwise, if you don't want to train your own model, you directly want to use the pre-trained model, you can open 1.6, testing each model backtest results. So you can directly open 1.6 and run each of the cells. So let me run one just for making you understand. So here we are using ETS data. You can use BTC or any other, whatever you want, you can add it here, or you can mention the path, file path. Because right now I have activated the service Jupyter, so GPU services, GPU available is showing up as 0. If at all I would have, if at all I activated the other service, Jupyter underscore GPU, then it would have installed the packages related to GPU and it would show 1 here, or 2 if at all you have 2 GPUs in your system. So anyway, so we are running each of the steps, this, and then data preparation, target preparation, and then testing how many targets are there. Let it run. This is going to take a while. So here also we can change the values. So here stop loss percentage I have given as 0.015. means 1.5% as stop loss, and the ratio is 1.2. So take profit is 1.2 times more than the stop loss, around 1.8 or something. Look ahead candles, I have given 240. Means what it does is it will go through whole data and it will look ahead 240 candles and see where all this condition fits in, and then creates 1 and 2s based on that. 1 and 2s in the sense, 1 is for long, 2 is for short. 1 is for long and with a stop loss of the 1.5%, take profit of 1.2, take profit of 1.2 times the short stop loss. And this 2 is for like here is the whole concept for short position and long position. So it creates stop loss, take profit for long and short, and by looking ahead at 240 candles, it will create a good target uh, uh, based on the conditions that we have given for this. So once after that, it's still running. Okay. Previously we were using this, so the better way of, instead of using this, the better way of creating a target is the new version. So I have modified it in the recent uh, 3_6 FREC S and the FREC F also, FREC Trade of Futures VishvaAlgo, the latest December 19th version have updated the target. We have to wait till the cell gets executed. Okay, so after cell get executed, it takes a little long. So after that, you can check out the target. Here it is showing up 45% of ones and twos occupied, and remaining is occupied by zeros. So we have a target data now. Let us run the next steps and just check out this we are just back testing with the target data just for reference. It really doesn't matter if we are back testing the target data or not, just to see whether if at all if at all our bot gets trained so well that it gives exactly these values, and then it runs on the ETH 15-minute time frame data that we have used with the 5.5 means 5.5 stop loss and 5.5 take profit. Then what is the possible backtest result will be. This is only for reference, it actually doesn't matter. We have to focus on our trained model mainly. So output of the trained model, test data. So trained data will anyway show a good result. So when we split our data into train and test, we have to always check out the backtest results for the test data. Because model gets trained on the trained data, there is a high chances of showing good results. So here it shows amazing results, which is practically not possible. If at all this is possible, everyone will be Warren Buffett or Bill Gates or Elon Musk. Okay, anyway, so this is the ideal target. Now we have to train our model further. So oops, sorry, just shift enter, shift enter, shift enter. So we are scaling up the data. We are splitting the data into train and test. And then here, so this is 1.6 notebook. What we are going to do is we are going to mention what model, say, let's say have few pre-trained data already given here, pre-trained models already given here. So you can just mention any of them. How will you know? Means go to models, here models, and transformers or whatever, and check out. Here the models got saved in such a way that it will show up the SH sharp ratio. Sharp ratios are being shown here. So first thing you have to observe is always go for the highest sharp ratio possible, like 1 point out of all of this 1.2 here, 1.27 is there, 1.17 is there. So first try to test higher sharp ratios, and then test higher sharp ratios with lower drawdowns and higher win rate. So even when you are training something, any of the models, make sure the sharp ratio reaches above 1 for the best results, it is fine. It should be minimum of 0.75. 1 above is good, 1.5 is very good, and above 2 is excellent. Okay. So coming back, I have already mentioned one of the models. So let's go with this default one. You can change for your if at all you are interested, you can change it, and then run each cell. So it has taken, so let it run, it is analyzing, and then we can run the back test. So even when you are running backtest, you can also change. Let's say you have run this and you got a result and you are happy with it, well and fine. If not, and you want to let's say here Sharpe ratio is 0.4 only. Why 0.4? With this stop loss and take profit, it is coming 0.4. Maybe if you change it to 2.5 or something, it might give you better results. Just try to change and test. Here is the confusion matrix. Now we are running backtest on the entire data. X means entire data. X train means only the train data, or X test means only all test data. So here we have done confusion matrix only for the X test. So it is it was done on the test data. But when we are backtesting, we are backtesting on the entire data. If at all you want to only backtest on the test data, then you can uncomment this and comment on the above and shift enter or run the cell. As of now I'm doing this. You can experiment for yourself. Okay, so after this cell we are executing backtest results. So here instead of 5.5, why I have given 5.5 by default is because I have already tested and I have found that 5.5% stop loss, 5.5% take profit is good for this particular model, like recently trained models, pre-trained models that I have given. In the coming future, in maybe in 1-2 weeks, I will be also releasing some advanced features. Those are able to give you a Sharpe ratio of 2 plus 2.53 also, and with amazing backtest results. So here return is 34, buy and hold is 184, and Sharpe ratio is 0.1. So yeah, you need to change and test with other values as well. So basically you can do the experiment in each of the cells with by changing the values. If at all you know everything well, like you already have got knowledge over what is exactly happening, then you can even change the formulas here. You can add EMAs or some other RSI or something, and also you can do the backtest as you want. So I have given a setup which can be helpful for you to just optimize as you need. So returns are 421%, which is great from 32, and buy and hold is only 183. So it has defeated buy and hold returns. Though the Sharpe ratio is less, this is good. But max drawdown is minus 66%, which is very high. Win rate is also very low, 51%. So what I suggest is try to test other models also. By default I have given this, it's up to you. So let's say now you have ensemble. What ensemble, like if it you have knowledge over how neural network, deep learning, or how boosting techniques or any of the classification models work, then only you go for ensemble. Otherwise, if you are very new to this whole structure concept, I suggest you to only do your testing initially on this. Once you get little bit of experience, or even in the future when I release videos further on how ensemble works and all, or further explaining each of the model and how they are getting trained and all, then you can go and experiment on ensemble. This is for advanced users only, but I have given the setup already. If at all you are interested, you can just run the cell. Basically we are using different 6 different models. You can use 2, 3, 4. So ensemble is nothing but mixing of multiple models together to get an output. Here I have used 6 and I have given different weightages. So on a scale of 1, each of them has different weights. So 0.1, like that, based on their performance I have given. Like TCN models are very good, so I have given them more weight. LSTM are better and CNN models are little less. So like that I have mixed them and given. And never combine transformers with any of the other models, because transformers uses axis 1, TC the this all other models uses axis 2 while defining the target data. So it will be difficult further. Now in the future I will be also mixing up all of them together, so it will become easier in the future. But as of now, with the present setup, do not mix transformers with the other models. So you can use all other models mixing together. That can be 5, 4, 3, 2 or 10, whatever number you are preferring. And once you mix all of them here, then you can run the next cell. So we are saving all those together in this name, or you can change the name and give some other name, and then load. So this got saved here. We are loading that saved model here and running the test, confusion matrix and all. So it runs each of the models now one after the other. So there are 6 models. Let it run all of them. So after running this cell, we have got a confusion matrix of the ensemble model, and then we are going to run the next step. Here we are going to test it on test data. So let's wait for them to run. So after successfully executing this cell, we will go to the next. Here we are going to backtest with 2.5 stop loss, 2.5% stop loss and 2.5% take profit, and check out the results. So returns are 281. Buy and hold gives 37%, and sharp ratio is 1, which is good, and drawdown is also very less. So now what we understood is using ensemble we can improve the model performance, or we can train the model in such a way that we can increase the sharp ratio through single model itself. Okay, so 1.6 notebook is basically for doing backtest, going back notebooks. This is for backtest, and if at all you want to test ensemble model, like multiple models together, here in 1.5 you can mix multiple models and check out how it performs, how it works in this particular notebook. I'm not going to run all of them again. So after doing all this, and once you are satisfied with a certain model, then you will go to the next step. Let's go back to the readme. So inside the readme, now we are going to go through how to use FracTrade, how to download the data, and how to do backtesting, and then how to go live. These 3 things are important with the FracTrade. So now we have a successful model with us. So let's go step by step. Obtain FracTrade image, which we did using Docker compose pull, and then this we have already done. So next step is you can download the data from 2023 January 1st to January 1st for the time frames of 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 15 minutes. From the exchange Binance. If at all you have any other, like Binance doesn't work in your country, you can use whatever other exchanges that work for you. So you can just check out it. So FracTrade uses CCXT wrapper. So CCXT you can open and check out what exchanges that CCXT supports, and if at all it if at all the exchange that you are using also is supported by CCXT or not. So you can just walk through. Here are the supported exchanges by CCXT. Bybit is there. Many people have been asking me Bybit works or not. Control F, Bybit. So here is Bybit. Kraken. So Kraken futures is also supported. Qcoin is also supported. So you can just check out whatever is supported and accordingly you can use that. Go through the documentation. it will be simple. So let's go back here. So you can mention the exchange that you want, and also mention trading mode. So we have three trading modes here. I have explained. One is spot, another one is futures, the other one is margin. We are using spot and futures. So this particular version of Freck trade is for spot. So I have mentioned it as spots and pairs. So you have to just check out the naming convention in Binance. For spot, the naming convention is USDT/USDT. If like from European countries, people have users have asked me that USDT doesn't work, so you can use USDC as well. It will only download those pairs which have USDC. Okay, so this is all flexible for you. Yeah, like whatever you want to mention, you can mention this exchange name, you can mention type of trading mode, you can also mention 1 minute time frame, and whatever is supported for your exchange, from your exchange, you can mention them and download those. And then mention it here. So with this convention, it will download all the possible pairs available in this exchange for spot trading. Or if at all you have any like specific ones, like let's say BTC/USDT, ETH/USDT, or XRP/USDT. If you want to mention specific number of assets, then you can mention it in this way. Okay, going back now, Docker Compose. So once you have downloaded all the data, where you are going to run Docker Compose in the run it inside the cell. So you can run terminal through Visual Studio Code. Otherwise, you can use this CD, like how we have gone previously, like CD space, and wherever is your folder located, you can copy that. And once you are in this, you can now run this particular cell, particular batch command. Copy and paste it here. Press enter. So here another thing that you can do is whenever you do this, here automatically it will show all the available assets. Here a list will come up now. See, this is all available assets. So you can copy them. Okay, copy them, Control Shift C. Exiting this because I already have, and also have given data already. But if at all you want to update over this, like this is maybe a few days back data, so you want the latest data, then you can download them. And also have not provided 3 minutes data, 5 minutes data, because it's going to take a lot of space. It's better that you download it on your system by yourself. Otherwise the file size will increase, and that's the reason I have not provided small time frame data. Okay, so once you copied that, what you can do is you can go to config spot, and if you are using futures, you can go there and copy paste all of them. So you have to change single quote to double quote. And also single quote to double quote, Control F, wherever there is single quote, change to double quote. So now we have a JSON format. Okay, so I'll tell you why we have done this. Go back to readme. So once you have downloaded the data, then you can run the backtest for specific strategies. So where can you find strategies? In the strategies folder. So there is a regular strategy folder and also ensemble based strategy folder. In the ensemble folder, so if at all you are running this, you can click on it And what I suggest is scroll down to this comment section around 703 line. Here in the comments I have given step-by-step approach, what to do, how to do. Just follow the steps. So there is something called step 0.1. What step 0.1 notebook does is, let me open. You can run these cells. So this is for example, this is for spot. First let me show you for spot. So here you mention whatever preferable model that you want to use within the strategy, that's the same one you will be mentioning it here. And also you after mentioning this, you just scroll down and mention the stop loss, take profit, leverage, whatever numbers that you wanted to give. As a default you will be mentioning it here. So ROI also by default, what ROI does is after every, let's say here 50, 100, 150, 200 is there, right? 50 minutes, if 6% is reached within the 50 minutes, it will close the trade. If within 100 minutes, if 4% is reached, then ROI will close the trade. So this is the concept, how ROI works. So within 500 minutes, 2.9% reaches, then it will close the trade. Stop loss is stop loss, take profit is 6%. You can change as per your wish, and because we are using spot, by default leverage will always be 1. You won't be changing these numbers, otherwise it will not generate proper results. So once you set that, you just have to run all these cells. I'm not going to run now, I'll just give you a walkthrough. So once you do that, what this particular code does is, what this particular code does is, it will execute best possible assets step by step from this folder. So here we have mentioned, let me show you. This is for those who are using any other exchanges apart from the Binance, which I have given by default. So here we are using Binance. So what the concept, what this particular cell does is, it executes all the assets which is present in data Binance, all these assets it executes. What type of files is, here we have mentioned whatever ends with USDT 15m.json, means it will only execute those time frames data which has 15m. If you want to execute on 5m, you can mention it as 5m. You can mention it as 1h. Here 1h is there, so you can mention it as 1h. If at all you are training or testing, or you want to shortlist best possible assets based on the model that we have trained with specific time frame, specific stop loss, take profit, ROIs, and you want to shortlist other assets, because we have trained only on ETH and or BTC, only on one particular asset. So now we also need to understand and want what other assets that are possible, that can give good results with the same model. So for that reason we are using this particular 0.1 notebook. Okay, so so you have to, if at all you are using Bybit, you have to change this to Bybit, and whatever folder, like folder structure, here it shows data Binance. For futures it will be Binance futures, you also have to mention futures. So you have to change accordingly. Okay, this is especially for those who are using other exchanges apart from the default one which I have given. So now once you have mentioned that, the bot will start performing. It will start taking shortlisting one after the other, like this it will start shortlisting. So what once after shortlisting is done, it will create an automatic file called custom assets underscore and the name of the model that got trained. So it will be whatever model you have trained, that model name .txt. So here at the top, here we have mentioned a model, right? This is the model name, Sharp ratio 1.41, Sharp ratio 1.4. So this custom assets underscore transformers with the model name .txt got created, and it has shortlisted this many assets. With the advantage of this is that every particular asset will have their unique ROI, take profit and all. So the advantage is that when you run with the same model, if at all you go back to the strategies and open spot, and you have mentioned here in the top model file path, here you have mentioned user data, notebooks, model, TCN, and whatever you have shortlisted. Let's say this you have shortlisted. This is the model you have shortlisted. So now it will look for that particular model in the custom assets. If at all there is no custom assets that you have created, or you have not run step 0.1, then what happens is that it will take by default whatever we have mentioned inside the strategy. Here in the strategy also we have mentioned by default take certain if at all by default take these values. If at all that asset is not there or custom assets is not available, by default it will take these values. If custom assets is available for that particular model, then it will draw assets conditions from that particular one. From here it will draw. So that's the advantage. Now if at all you don't want to use step 0.1, then what? Then that is where this assets will come into use. So you have copied it to config spot .json, right? Now going back to the strategy, as I told you, just follow the step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. So only change that you will do here is run step 0.1, which I have already mentioned. Okay, use the same model file path you have mentioned inside step 0.1, which I have also shown you here top. Here, so mention the same, and then yeah, line number 330. Okay, I have given that. Same is given as a model here in the strategy. So model file part has to be the same for this, and even inside step 0.1 notebook. Okay, and then whatever with selected assets are. So after running step 0.1 stop spot, let me scroll back to bottom. So whenever you are finished running all this execution of this cell is successfully done, then when you run these two cells, you will get summary of all the shortlisted assets names here. You can copy them. Okay, copy all of them and paste it in spot, because we are using config spot filter 1. We will open config spots filter 1, and here we will paste them. Here we will paste them. The same thing has been explained here. With selected assets are, from the selected assets, copy the assets into config spot filter 1.json. So we have copied it to here. Okay, so like that you have to follow. So once after you copy that, you will run this particular cell, run backtest again. So for the first time you are going to run this backtest. This is the command, and once you, what it does is it runs this particular config for this particular strategy name. So strategy names are taken from here. So whatever class name you give, this will be the strategy name, not the file name. Do not get confused, because file name and strategy file name I have given the same. So always if you are running FrickTrade and you want to run a particular strategy, you have to give the class name, this name. Okay, though have given the same strategy name as the file name, not to get confused. Always use the class name as the strategy name. So just run this as given here, copy and run it in your command line. I'm not going to run it now. So you'll get a result after some time. It's going to take time depending on the RAM and CPU. So after that you will get a certain certain result, right? So here what you are going to do is you are going to shortlist assets which have given positive results. So from here on the results are positive. Average profit is in the positive. So below this all are in negative. So you are going to ignore them. Why? Because not every model will work on all the assets. So every model in the world, not including mine, which I have given, apart from that, any model in the world will only work for certain assets, certain type of system. So we are trying to shortlist those assets which are best suitable for our system. for this model which you have using. So now we have copied that. So whatever you have copied, note them down and then pass it on to next step. Like what I have, like step 4, just follow the step 4. Then we will add it to the next step, which is here if you see next, which is config long filter 2. So one is done, filter 2 we have added from the filter 1 result, and then we run filter 2 again. So you, if you follow step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, step 6 and all, you'll understand. Even if what I'm saying is little confusing for you right now, it's okay, just follow the instructions given here. It will be simple and easy. So step 7, same like that. So filter, another filter we will do. Now after that we'll run it on final one with filter 3. So after that we'll have the results. So here also after filter 3 there are few negative results. So now we are shortlisting only these assets to live trading. Live trading can be of two types. One is with real money, one is with dry run. What I suggest is always run dry run for minimum 500 plus trades and see how the bot is performing. Only then with confidence you can enter with real money. Do not rush and lose money is what I suggest. And do enough experimenting and all before finalizing which one to use, and also always use 2-3 models, not 2-3 strategies, not just one strategy. So yeah, this is the thing. Step 1, step 12, step 11, step 12, just follow them and that's it. Anything that you want to change, let's say you want to change the instructions here, like conditions for entry trend. So apart from the model, which this one we are using, we are also using some pump and dump volume base. We are using MACD, EMA of different types. Even 1 hour time frames, we are also analyzing 1 hour time frames before finalizing whether to enter or not. So here I have given a predefined sets. But if you want to add your own, you can add your own here in the populate indicators, or use the existing populate indicators and change the conditions. Instead of greater than this, you can say greater than this into twice, or whatever, however you want to test, you can test and give your own conditions and run back test again and finalize. Improve your code logic as per your need. And also have given custom exit. So custom exit will have few advantages. If at all there is sudden dump, sudden pump in the market, so let's say you are doing spot, means you are going long. So when the market suddenly dumps, in 920 means seconds, means around 15 minutes. So in 15 minutes, 15 point some minutes, okay. So in 920 seconds, if at all market suddenly changes by, let's say 2.5%. So what happens is that it will automatically cut off, the trade will close saying the sharp price drop exit. Okay, like that. Even for trailing stop loss, like that, have given few different structure here. Custom exit, you can check it out and understand the logic and use them accordingly, or you can use your own. So let me give you a small final brief. What you are doing is you are installing by 3 steps, simple 3 steps initially, which is this, or you directly run build.sh. It will automatically does all these 3 steps. Once installed, first you will open Jupyter Notebook by giving the password. So once you open the Jupyter Notebook, you will go to notebooks. You will check out 1.1 to 1.5. If at all you don't want to train your own model, then you will open 1.6 and test existing models and finalize 1 or 2 models or ensemble model. Depending on your knowledge, experience and all, you will use ensemble. Otherwise, if you are fresher using it for the first time, suggest you to use only single model. Otherwise, you will get confused. Okay, or use the predefined one. You can change the values like stop loss and all and can play with them. Anyway, going back, once you are satisfied with the model, then you will go back to straight trade 0.1 step. So you will go here. How you will know to go here? You will just open the strategy file and follow the steps. Okay. Here in the readme also we have mentioned Docker pull. After downloading the data, you will do backtest. Here in the backtest, during the backtest, you will use all those steps. have given the same class name and the file name. Okay, whatever I have explained, the same thing is provided here. So after all this is done, how you will go live? Docker compose up Fractrade live. So again, going back here in the Docker compose, you have to mention what strategy you are using. Strategy name at the strategy and file path. Let's say you are using ensemble. Ensemble is in strategies, and again inside a folder called ensemble of multiple models to run the bot. In this folder there is ensemble strategy. So let's say you want to use ensemble strategy for live, then you will go to Fractrade live en means ensemble. You'll activate this, you'll uncomment this, and strategy path you have to clearly mention this folder name also, and then inside that folder this strategy name, not the file name, strategy name. Strategy names are the class names. Here are the class names. This is the strategy name. This name you will provide inside here, and also check out with the port numbers, what port you are using and all. And if you are going live, this should be true, otherwise false when you are doing backtest. Okay, and also you can, because Fractrade doesn't need a lot of RAM, you can limit it to 4 GB. Okay, reservation is 3.5, so minimum of 3.5, maximum of 4 GB will be used. The other thing is, in the readme have also provided what is the I have also provided system prerequisites. So server prerequisites are as given here: 16 GB RAM, 100 GB SSD, 4 core CPU, Linux 22 or 24, anything is fine. 22 should be minimum. And also how to reduce cost. So I suggest Jupyter Notebook to be run locally, train your models locally, and when you are satisfied, directly upload onto the server and run a Fractrade directly. Instead of running Jupyter Notebooks on VPS, I suggest you to run Jupyter Notebooks locally, train them, and then when you are satisfied with all the results and everything is set, then when you want to run live, then only use VPS. This way you can reduce the budget. Instead of 16 GB, you can even use 8 GB or 10 GB RAM. Okay. The same goes for futures also. Whatever I have explained, the same steps, same setup, everything is same for futures also. Going back, readme. So in the Docker compose file, you have to mention config ensemble spot live. So for ensemble, we are going to, because ensemble service we are using, we are going to mention this particular config file. So if you open ensemble spot live, we have shortlisted, we have given all the assets that are shortlisted after filter 1, 2, 3 and backtest are done, right? After that, whatever is the final whitelist, we have mentioned it here. You can mention your API keys here, secret key here, and whatever money you want to, and then run the dry run initially for 500 trades. Once you are satisfied, then go live with a real trade. Okay, and also if at all you are using server, you have to you can mention this particular one, whatever is your server IP address, you can mention the IP address here instead of localhost, and run. This way you can connect multiple. Let's say you are connecting futures, spot, long trade, short trades, spot trade, all three of them together. You can directly open your localhost 8080 and connect through that. I'll make another video of it for you to understand. So yeah, this is it. Okay, thank you.